Hello everyone, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel. This is my little corner of the internet where I like to share the things that I've been getting up to craft-wise. So today I have quite a bit. I've got cross-stitch finishes and works in progress. I have sewing, I have crochet, and I have quilting. So today is Friday, July 3rd. Welcome if you're new. I'm glad you found me here and I hope you like what you see. And welcome back if you're a returning viewer. Yeah. It's 8:30 in the morning and I am cooking in here. I can't believe how long it took to set this up. I have so much to share. So I am just going to kind of dive right in. I think the last time I was here was near the end of May. I had planned on coming back last week. But you know, stuff happens. So yeah, so we're here now in July to share. So June was a great month for me. I got so much done. It was like a really nice balance of crafting, you know, like I didn't feel that like quilting was overtaking my life or something else, or I wasn't getting a chance to do this and that. I got to try some new things. Yeah, it was really, really good. And it didn't seem to just fly by like all the other months did. It just went at a lovely, gentle pace. And if it could do that all the time, it would be perfect. So this was my June. So as you can see, like I was doing something almost every day. The yellow lines, the yellow highlights, those are finishes. And the greens are starts. So I had, you know, these were all of my starts and these were all of my finishes. Now some of these are just like little teeny tiny projects, but it doesn't matter. A start's a start and a finish is a finish. So I'm really happy with what I got done. And look, I even had all of my goals. There was only one that I didn't check off, and that was to organize my Christmas fabrics. I want to do some kind of scrap organization system, but maybe July, that might be my Christmas in July project, who knows. Okay, so we're gonna get started with cross stitch, and I did have all these in order at one time, but now I don't, so we'll just go through and you'll notice a total theme here. I know I had said previously that I'm just going to stitch what I want to stitch. I'm not going to follow any plans. I'm not going to, you know, restrict myself to anything. But when I did, sometimes I find if I pick a theme and stay in that stream, I get a lot done and then I feel good about it. So anyway, so one of my, I think this is my latest finish, and this didn't take long at all. So this is a freebie from the Snowflower Diaries. I think it's called Spring Stitching. This only took like an evening. So fun. Isn't that cute? I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I mean, a person I kind of think can only have so many needle books, but who knows? I just thought that was super sweet. I believe I used all the call for colors in that one. So cute. I'm glad I got that in. What I worked on for most of the month was this chart. So I've been calling it S's for Strawberry, but I believe it's actually called Berrylicious. So it's a chart by Faye Walsh. And this was from Cross Stitcher magazine. I'm not sure of the issue number. So I get my Cross Stitcher magazines on the Readly app. So I just thought the colors were nice and bright and fun and cheery, but I knew I didn't want to stitch the whole thing, so I just stitched down to here. And again, I used call for colors. I used an Ada, it's a 16 count. It's a 16 count blue, some kind of blue. And that's my finish. That was so fun. I really, really enjoyed working on this. So I imagine it will go in a frame. I do have a couple other strawberry finishes. But yeah, I thought that was so sweet. Really, really enjoyed that. Now, because I was doing all the strawberry stitching, of course, I had to have strawberry project bags, and I didn't have strawberry project bags. So it was like serendipity that at my last guild meeting at the shop of the month, somebody had some cute fat quarters. So I don't know if I got these there at the quilt show, but anyway, I made this bag. And I found this charm at the quilt show, so I bought that. That's kind of perfect. And there's the back. So fun. The same colors that are in the stitch that I just finished. So we did that one. And I also made this one. So this is from Lori Holt, one of the Farm Girl vintage books. That's the 6-inch block. So I thought that was cute. And that's the backing on there. And of course this bag needed its own bit of strawberry bling. So I might as well show you what's in this bag. So this was a start. This is slow going because it's a lot of white stitching. I'm stitching it on 32 count platinum. I don't have a finished picture. This is from a magazine, a French magazine. I'm just calling it Strawberry Shelf. So like I said, it's a little slow going. This is only where I'm at. I worked on this a bit last night, but all the white stitching just really kind of wasn't gelling. So I hope to finish it. It was almost going to be a give up, but I thought, you know, just do it. So we have that one. Oh, and I had to make a strawberry scissor fob. So I got the beads out, and that was also fun. I've been doing quite a bit of like jewelry making and beadwork this month, or last month. This is a stitch marker I made years and years ago for crochet, but I just took it off the hook. I think that's called a Jammy Dodger. Anyway, so you know, it's just fun, right? Okay, so back to cross stitch. I worked on, so my friend Patty had a birthday in June, and I was asking her, what's going to be your birthday project? What are you going to start on? And she said, oh, maybe this, maybe that. And one of her options was Pink Sparrow by Pink Sparrow Sampler from Brenda Gervais. And I said, well, if you pick that one, I'll join you because I've already started it like 2 years ago, put some stitches in and haven't done anything else. So she said, okay, that's what we're going to do. So for that weekend of her birthday, we stitched on Pink Sparrow Sampler. And this is what I have. So I didn't do all of this in a weekend. So I had most of the border vines done and about half of the flowers. So this time around I did more flowers, and then I started on some of the other motifs just to, you know, make it a little bit more exciting. Now, truth be told, so when I first saw this sampler, like, I don't know, when it came out, 2020 or something, I thought it was so beautiful, and I ordered the threads, and when the threads came, I was so disappointed because they just seemed, I don't want to say brighter. I mean, these are pretty bright, but I don't know, like anything that was green, that looked green in the chart, in actual life has like got a lot of yellow in it, and the blues were, it's that Lexington green, which I had, well, when I ordered it, it's almost like a mint green with dust on it. So I switched that out. I think I'm using Dove. But even so, like I don't know, when I started working on it, I wasn't as excited because the colors just weren't as bright as it looked in the picture. And I know that's, like, that really can't be helped. Oftentimes what the picture looks like, how something photographs isn't really not what it looks like. So anyway, I will keep going, and I'm hoping that, you know, like once it's all done and all the colors are together, then it'll be okay. It's just like working on each one. Like I don't like the oranges and I don't like the pinks, and Anyway, it will be beautiful, I'm sure. But anyway, I'm happy to have gotten some stitches in that because, like I said, it's been, I think I did start it 2 years ago, and I haven't done anything since. Now, first day of summer, I got back to this project. So I started this last year. This is Summer in a Cup from Cuore e Baticuore. My grand plan last year was to stitch on these because I have the whole series. I've got the spring, Christmas, autumn. I've completed autumn. Anyway, my grand idea was to pull them out, do say a cup a month. So that's 3 months. And then so within 2 years time, I should have them all finished. Well, I did 1 cup last summer. So I've started on this one, and I'm stitching this on a light blue even weave. I don't know if it's ice blue, but let's see if I can show this without the light coming through. So this is what I stitched last year, and this year I started that, and I started a little bit on the cartouche that will say Summer in a Cup. Now I do mine in French, so when you get these charts, they do come charted. The center cartouche comes charted in Italian, English, and French. But the colors on this are so pretty, and actually there's hardly any. Yeah, there's hardly any colors. But it's just nice and vibrant and summery, and I really hope to at least get the cup and the cartouche finished this year. We'll see. I have a lot of summer projects I would like to get back to. I considered doing a summer whip parade, and I still might. I'm just not going to do it in this video because I have so much to share. So anyway, Summer in a Cup. And then I started this yesterday. So here's another project bag I made with some more fat quarters I found at the shop of the month. And this one has, I think that's Monet or Renoir. Anyway, my fancy bags have to have fancy pulls. So in here, this is called L'Oiseau Bleu, and here's the cover page. So this, they had turned it into a needle book in the finished project. So this is from a French website called De Mère en Fille, and I'll put it down below. So, oh, when she came out with this, I thought that was just the sweetest thing ever. So I purchased it as a PDF right away. Didn't start it until last night. And so I'm stitching this on platinum. I feel like everything's on platinum these days. So that's just as far as I've got on this one. And then she also came out with this one, which I'm so happy about. Okay, is my name on there? No. Okay, so then she came out with this one, which I'm going to start next. I mean, of course. So here's the thing. In the finished model, it's a needle book. So it's this on the outside. And then inside, which they don't show here, but they show on the website, inside you make a little pocket and you stitch it. You stitch a design on there. So for instance, here you would stitch this as a pocket. Now, I like this whole thing. So I'm going to stitch all of this on one piece, and then I'll probably just hang them, because then I believe they're going to be about 8 by 10. So I might just extend the vines on and the flowers on both of them, or maybe put some vintage buttons. But yeah, that's the plan. I thought that was really, really sweet. And I'm hoping she comes out like that. Maybe it's going to be a series. So I'm standing today and it's kind of hard to show everything. So that's those two. How cute are those? If she came out with a goldfinch, I don't know if I could handle that. Okay, so I think that's it. That's it for my cross stitching. So I feel like that was a lot, but I feel like that went really fast. Okay, so I guess we can talk about sewing a little bit. Yeah, so as you saw, I was making project bags. So I did make another one. This one's my favorite. So I used this block is from a table topper pattern from Erica Arndt, Confessions of a Homeschooler. So she has an annual sale, and I had purchased the table topper pattern from there. And then I just thought, you know, that'd be really fun as a project bag, especially because I found this fabric. And this little pull was on clearance at Michael's, so I think I'm going to have to next year definitely have some cherry stitching in there. So I got that completed. And then I don't know if you remember back, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago when free motion embroidery on your machine was kind of like a big thing. You know, you do the applique on there and you free motion embroider on the outside with like black or dark thread, so it just kind of looked like pencil lines, and you know, like it's not terribly neat. Like I had done some way back in the day, and I showed it to a friend, and she said, so it's just gonna look like that, because she didn't care for the black outline. But anyway, so I was just like looking through my embroidery book, and I found this pattern. So this is from a previous issue of Bustle and Sew magazine. So Bustle and Sew magazine, when it first came out, it was a digital magazine, and I subscribed to it for like 10 years because I think I got each issue for $2.50. And then finally, after 10 years, I just said, like, look, this is enough. I have enough patterns. I've hardly made any. So I canceled my subscription. But she is still producing magazines. You can find her on Etsy. It's mostly embroidery and some small sewing projects. So I can't remember what the date this was from, because when I printed off the pattern, it didn't say anything on the bottom. But this was the picture. So I just went through my stash and picked out some things, and you know, did some of that. Well, we'll just call it, it is messy stitching. You have to be a fan. I was going to mount this on a canvas, but I kind of didn't leave myself enough at the top, and then when I did the stitches across the top, it puckered there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but it was just fun, and it was nice to do something different, and it was quick. So I like that quite a bit. And that was my sewing, and then quilting. I guess we can talk about quilting. So I have finished 3 quilts since we last spoke. So the first one, because it's behind me, I just finished this the other day. So this is the Edelweiss quilt by Camille Ross Kelly. And I'll just turn you. So it's a square, but I extended I made the borders on the side. I made the borders on the side wider, just so it would fit on my bed better. And there's my big pile of quilts there. I'm going to show you. So that's that. I love it. Like, I love it. And I see that and I think, why don't I do all my quilts with a dark color background? I think that's beautiful. Yeah, I know. Just some fat quarters. These gave me a little bit of trouble, but this is where I learned that scant 1/4 inch is really important, because when I did just true 1/4 inch on those blocks, some of them ended up being a 1/2 inch shorter than they were supposed to be, which kind of normally you think, well, that's not really a problem. Well, if you don't know, you think that's not really a problem, but it is when you need to match it up to a piece that's 1/2 inch bigger. So there were lots of stretching going on there. But anyway, it's finished. I'm so thrilled with it. I think this is my favorite quilt of the year. And it actually goes together really, really quickly. So yeah, so we had that. This next one, I think I had the top finished the last time I did a video, but it wasn't quilted. So I used this pattern, Cool Summer Porch. And I had a gift card, an Etsy gift card for my birthday from a lovely friend. So I bought fabric, and normally I do like bright colors, but it's not something that I really decorate with. I mean, this is more my kind of thing. So anyway, but I saw these and I thought, I just want that. So it's all these beautiful, bright, like, they do look like stained glass patterns on there already. And I mean, these look like batiks, but they're not. They're quilting patterns. So I know this is a hard angle to see from. I will be putting these on my Instagram. In fact, I did put this on my Instagram because my local quilt shop is having a UFO challenge this summer. So you submitted 3 of your quilty UFOs. They had to be crib size or larger. And we've got the summer to try to finish them. So this was my first finish for that. And yeah. Yeah, this is a terrible angle. But anyway, very, very pretty. And then on the backing, I like totally splurged and I bought just the butterflies. So that's the whole back. So I love it. I'm keeping this quilt. And I'm keeping this quilt. But I think all of the other quilts I've made this year, I have gifted or am giving away. And then this was a quilt, so this is a free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. It's called Layer Cake Lollies. I used a layer cake I bought off Amazon. So as a little, wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. Specifically how it was going to wash. So for the backing, I used a sheet because I thought if it's going to ruin it, I don't want it to ruin a whole bunch of yardage that I just bought. But you know what? It washed just fine. I washed it in cold water. I did put some color catchers in there, and there wasn't a hint of dye. So it turned out okay. So you can see part of the pattern here. And I extended the quilt. I wanted to make it a little bit longer, so I just did a little bit of an extra border. And I'm going to put this one, I'll put it on my Instagram, which I'll put below. So there. So yeah, I think I used all fabrics from Amazon on here. The blues were okay. The white, it was a white jelly roll. I'm still up in the air on it. It was a little difficult to sew with because it was quite stretchy. You know, even though it's supposed to be cotton, but anyway, it worked out. So I'm pleased with this. I was worried, but I'm pleased how it turned out. So like I said, I used a layer cake for this. Honestly, I think it would be better if you just had yardage because I did feel like it wasted a lot of the layer cake. I have a lot of little bits left. Now, thankfully, they're all like 2.5 inches, so they will get used, but yeah, it just seemed like there was a lot of waste in that. Oh, we're almost done. So those are my finishes. So what's up next is I have started cutting up Cats in Space. So there's not a lot to show you for this. This is the pattern. So I've cut up one of the cats and his little suit. I got a nice kind of star fabric for the background. So I'm hoping today to get most of the rest of this cut out, so then when I want to start working on it, I could just get to it. The other project that I'm starting is Stomping Ground. and this is from Wendy Shepherd. And I was really taken with this colorway. So I have all my pieces cut, and it's just like my blue florals, and yeah, most of my just blue florals with some gray. And then this will be the background fabric. So that one's actually all ready to go. I'm thinking it'll be quick. I don't know. And then lastly, I wanted to start something a little different. So this would be a wall hanging. Last year, Crabapple Hill, she was closing down her business. So all of her patterns were, I don't know, like 70% off, 80% off. They were so cheap. And I bought so many embroidery patterns because they were like $2. So anyway, I really liked this project. So this is called Twilight Garden. And so this is one that you trace the pattern onto your fabric with a Pigma marker, and then you color it with the Prisma markers. Heat set it, and then you do the embroidery. So I didn't buy all of the blocks, which in hindsight was really kind of dumb, because at the time I thought, well, I want to just make something small, so I only bought 5, maybe 6. Because what I'm going to do is, so I will just do a layout kind of like, there'll be 1 in the center, 4 in the corners. So anyway, it'll be smaller. Now I actually think for the blocks, I'm going to use the leftovers from that Layer Cake Lollies because it's blue as well. So I did think it was going to be a little intimidating to do all the tracing and the coloring, but I just did it, and it hardly took me any time at all. So this is what I've got. So I haven't embroidered anything yet, so it's going to be super pale. I'm sorry about that. So this is the daisy, and oh, this one's my favorite. So I should do this last because I have a tendency to work on my favorite things first, and then when I'm unfamiliar with something, then I usually mess it up and then I'm mad. So pincushion flower, and I just love that it has the spools of thread there. So dianthus. So these will of course look a lot different when they're embroidered because right now some of the flowers are just marked with dots or circles. Forget-me-not. It'll be very sweet. And Gerber daisy. So the next thing to do for those is to just do the embroidery, and you use Cosmo embroidery floss, and I was actually able to find most of it. Yeah, that's really nice. Anyway, I saw these beautiful blues and browns. So, yeah, I think that'll be really pretty. There's one, I am using this one, DMC. Blues and browns too. So I'm kind of excited about that because most of the embroidery, I believe, is just backstitch. So it should go pretty quickly. But yet some of the things, especially like the written text on the tags, is quite small. So I'll have to be careful. But I think that'll be fun. And like I said, I bought a bunch of her other patterns. So I feel like this is the least complicated of the quilt patterns of hers that I purchased. So this is a nice little introduction to it. Okay, so yeah, that's it for that stuff. So then I do also have a bunch of crochet. I have probably about the middle of the month, all of a sudden I just really got into crochet, and it's probably because my daughter has gotten big into knitting. So we've been like yarn shopping and checking out patterns, and it's been so much fun. every Wednesday we just every Wednesday we basically have our own yarn club and we work on our projects. And we were watching The Other Bennett Sister, which, oh my gosh, what a fantastic show. It was so good from start to finish. There's not one thing in that show I did not like, and that was on BritBox. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. I would watch it again. If I could buy the series, I will. So good. So, yeah, Other Bennett Sister and Yarny Things. I mean, so good. And we'd make tea lattes. Oh, so good. Okay. Last time I talked about having a do it or donate it bin because I have yarn kicking around that I want to make stuff with, but then I'm always over like bypassing it to make something else. So I thought this summer, if I'm going to use it or if I don't use it, somebody else can use it. So the first thing, well, this is the only thing I've done so far. I had a skein of Scarfie. It's the green black one. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I turned it into a scarf. So this is the Mindless, it's called the Mindless scarf. This is, it's 6 feet long. This is the whole skein. I mean, less a few inches. But anyway, it's done. And what I like about this scarf is as you do it, like the edge forms at the same time. So there's no going back and doing a border. Yeah, so we have that. That'll go in the gift cupboard. I worked on my blanket squares, so I want to go through my worsted weight yarn and use up as much as I can because I really don't use it that much anymore. I prefer like DK for like even home projects and stuff. So my daughter and I were going through my worsted weight yarn and I'm going to make this blanket. So I'm going to do blue, pink, purple, yellow, and peachy orange flowers. So I've got the blue done and the pink done. So these are my, this is what the squares look like. So we have the, some of them have the light green leaves. I have to mix it up because I'm running out of green. So anyway, we have the aqua with the turquoise centers and turquoise with aqua centers. All the flowers have a white center. They all have a white border. The leaf colors will be different only because I'm kind of running out and I just got to mix it up. So I'm doing 18 blocks of each color. So this one there was be like 9 turquoise, 9 aqua. For the pink, there are 6 of each kind, just because this is what I started with and I was messing around. So I've got a light pink with kind of a rose center, and then the same pink with almost a burgundy center. Don't love those. Oh, I think that's the same one. And then I have, wait a second. I should, yeah, here we go. Then I have a dark pink with a light center. Yeah, so then I've got 18 of these. After I finished the blue ones, I was flower squared out. So I thought I'm just going to work on these for 10 days. My crochet plan is I have a large project, a medium project, and a small project. And the goal is to kind of work on each one for 10 days. So the small and the medium, there's a good chance I can get them done in a month. The medium maybe over 2 months. The large project, that's always a blanket. So in 10 days I can totally get the next round done, and I think I'm just going to do 1 color in July, not 2, because it was a lot. Plus I also made that bag. Well, that was back in May, but I've been doing a lot of these squares, so it was a little tiresome. Oh, look. Another fun little thing, this was a small project, this just like took a day. So this is a little bookmark, and this is from a blog, Virkadia. So you can also buy, she has an Etsy shop, so you can buy them there. Or the instructions on her blog are free. So I followed the instructions on the blog. But isn't that cute? So for this, I used the crochet cotton, Aunt Lydia's crochet cotton. I had some downstairs. I don't know what the size of it is because the ball bands are gone, but it's like the thickest, probably the thickest one. So what's that, like a 5 maybe? So I did the berry. That was fun. I didn't make the chain long enough, so it'll just be for small books. And then I didn't realize till after, so I was supposed to do a leaf or a blossom, and I did both. And then I didn't want to decide which one I wanted to use, so I just stitched the blossom to the leaf. So now I have everything. So that was fun. And then my last crochet project, I love this so much. It's called Romantic Rose Bunting by Karen Hubbard. Hooked, stitched, and glued. So she is on Etsy. There were a couple other patterns I wanted of hers, and I was going to buy them all that I wanted. But I thought, well, you know what? Like, I ran into this problem last year. I bought a whole bunch of patterns from somebody, and then I tried one out, and it didn't work, and it was full of mistakes. So I thought I will try this, see how I like it, and then if it works out and it's well written, then I can go back and get the other one. So yeah, she will definitely be seeing more of my dollars because I really enjoyed this project. Now I only made 5. I only made 5 because I ran out of yarn. And I mean, really for the space that it's going, which is over there, and you'll probably see it next time when I film over there, it's big enough. So this was my bunting. Oh, I love it. Yeah, so we just have the five roses. I used, this is all DK yarn that was just in my stash. So I had like a teeny tiny skein of this yellow. I don't even know what it's from, but I ran out. And then this was from something. This is a Joy DK, I think in mint. But, oh, look, that looks so good with that too. Anyway, I'm like super happy with this. And I thought, like, when I was first doing it, I was like, this is like kind of complicated, but you just keep going and it worked out. So super pleased with that. So the next project I think I might do from her is Pillow. I really like this color combination, the yellow and the kind of aqua and the sagey green, but I'll have to find some more yellow somewhere. But I'm trying not to buy yarn if I can help it. It's not really working very well, but you know. Anyway, so that's what we have for that. And I think that's it. I did actually have to make notes today, but I don't know where they are. The table's empty. So anyway, I guess that was 38 minutes. That's long enough. So anyway, thank you for joining me today, and I'm happy to share the stuff that I make. If you have any questions, just put them below. I usually put my email down there too. So yeah, any questions? Yeah, I hope you're having a good summer and you are getting fulfilled by your makes. I know I certainly am. As I mentioned in my last video, it's kind of been it was a rough spring, and there's just been like very unpleasant blips happening, and this has just been like my solace, along with my family too. But anyway, just being able to make and do stuff and process things while I'm stitching a seam or, you know, hooking up something is just wonderful. So anyway, take care, my friends, and we will talk another time. Happy days.